Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Saturday to you. To everybody who came on and was waiting for me to go live at about 10:45 this morning, I'm back. I was unsure. Actually, we had a few things happen. The power went out here in Atlanta. It was storming here. And so the power went out. And when the power went out, my internet went out. And so I was here with some unstable internet. And so I wasn't able to go live. But here we are now, ready to go. Hey, AK, good to see you. So welcome again. Happy Saturday. I wanted to go live today and talk about a topic that I have been working on for the last few weeks. Had an incident happen a few weeks ago that had me asking the question, who is the boss of me? Who is really the boss of me? Am I an employee of my life, or am I truly the boss of my life? And so I'm sure that many of you can relate to having a boss, right? Even if you are your own boss right now, at some point in time, most of us have had a boss. So I've been in this game a little bit of time, and so I've had quite a few bosses, and I can go on record and say that having a good boss makes such a big difference. Welcome, everybody who is joining us. But having a good boss can make such a big difference in the kind of outcomes that you are going to see at your place of employment. If you have a really crummy boss, you can expect that there's going to be some impact that is going to there are going to be some negative impacts as a result of not having such a great boss, unless you set some really good boundaries. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you're having challenges setting boundaries at work, go back and listen to the episode we did last week where we talked about boundaries. I promise you, it was an amazing show with great tools and tips, and you will not be disappointed that you went back and watched that. But today we are talking about bosses, right? And what makes a good boss? Now, I want you guys to know, before I even get started here, I want to make it clear. God is my CEO and chairman of the board with all the veto rights, right? So this live is really going to be about focusing on the part of my life that I have stewardship over, the part of my life that God has given me control over. So we're going to talk about that aspect of our lives today. So let's talk about bosses. If you have had a boss out there, I want you to kind of think about what are some characteristics that you would say makes for a good boss. And you can put that in the chat. I want you to be just thinking about what makes a good boss. If you were to take on a job right now and you could have your dream boss, what would that boss, what kind of characteristics would that boss embody? So I started thinking about this myself. What were some of the characteristics that were common amongst the good bosses that I had, right? And so I came up with a short list. It was, that they basically, a good boss has a clear vision that they're clearly articulating to the people who are responsible for carrying out the vision. They set clear expectations and they communicate those expectations to their employees, and they probably have some sort of guidelines that they're using to evaluate whether you're meeting those expectations. I have that they check in with you regularly to see how it's going. A good boss is going to be concerned about, so Nyjah, how are things going for you in the job? Is it what you expected? They may set some milestones for you so that you can kind of guide and follow your progress. A good boss, they're going to work together with you on with any challenges that you might have. They're going to not just lead, but they're going to inspire. Okay, they're going to be respectful of others. Thank you for adding some stuff in the chat chat here. Yes, Emily, a good boss is going to be a good communicator. And they're going to be respectful of others and recognize that they need a good team around them. And hiring is important, right? So that they can build that team. Anything else that you can think of that makes a good boss, feel free to add that in the chat. All right. So I'm thinking about this boss and what I would want in a good boss. And what I came to conclude is that a lot of times we have a higher expectation of the bosses that we report to at work than we may have for the boss of our actual life. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. And trust me, y'all know I'm not a condemnation teacher. That's not how I work. I want to share with you and bring more awareness to some of the challenges that you may have. But most importantly, I want to leave you with tools that you can ultimately use and implement to help you as you are looking to become a better boss of you. All right. So let's get started. All right. So a few weeks ago, I'm in the bed and I'm like, okay, I knew I needed to get up that morning and work out. Y'all, what do you think happened? I woke up and I was like, okay, this is my day that I work out early in the morning. So I woke up and I was about to get started. And then I started having these thoughts. I started second guessing my original plan to get up and work out. These thoughts that were coming to my mind were stuff like, oh, I'm kind of tired today. I don't really feel like working out. And so as these thoughts were coming up, I sort of realized, Naj, you have sort of a dilemma here. Which voice are you going to listen to? Which thought was I going to allow to drive the decision about whether I was going to work out today or not? And I'm going to tell you, y'all, I really, really, really wanted to listen to the voice that wanted to stay in the bed and get some extra sleep and did not want to wake up. And I was kind of starting to get frustrated because I felt like that voice was speaking so loudly to me. Girl, you tired. Girl, you need extra rest. You don't need to work out. And I literally remember audibly saying to myself, who is the boss of me? Like, seriously, at the end of the day, which voice am I going to listen to? Am I going to listen to the voice that says I'm tired and I don't feel like it? Or am I going to listen to the voice that the night before said it was important for me to get up and work out that particular morning? So I ask you, who is the boss of you? Literally, who is bossing you around in your life? Is it unfavorable? Are you letting the unfavorable circumstances that are happening in your life be the boss? Are you letting how you feel be the boss? Are you letting what others expect of you be the boss? Are you letting perfectionism be the boss? Are you letting your emotions, even negative emotions, it could be fear or sadness, are you letting those emotions drive who is the boss of you and who is leading you into what you get done each day? And I realized for a long time, I was more of an employee in my life than I was a boss. And so I want to just think about that again. When we go back to the characteristics of what makes a good boss, how do you go about being a good boss of you? A good boss for you and a good boss in your life? How do you set a clear vision and have clear expectations and check in regularly to make sure that you're meeting those milestones? Are you deliberately working with others on your challenges? Are you inspiring yourself? Are you respectful of yourself? And are you building a strong team around you? So if the answer to any of these questions are not exactly the answer that you were hoping, let's talk about it, because I believe I have some thoughts on some ideas on ways that you can go from being that employee or not that great of a boss of your life to becoming that strong boss of your life that you ultimately want to be. And so here are there are going to be 6 ways that you can stop being an employee of your life and instead become a better boss to you today. The first thing I want you to do, if you are sitting here thinking, gosh, I might be letting my feelings control what I do. I might be letting my perfectionism control. I might be letting negative emotions control and drive what I do. I might be letting procrastination drive what I get done in my life. If that is you, I want you to listen in on these 6 ways that you can go about being more of a boss in your life. First of all, a good boss is going to observe. I want you to take time, and when you find yourself not doing the things that you really want to be doing to move the needle forward in your life, I want you to pull out a journal and I want you to journal, why are you not doing those things? Because see, oftentimes we don't have enough information to even know why we're not doing what it is we're supposed to be doing. And so I want you to start with observing. A good boss is going to observe his employees. A good boss is going to look at the circumstances and figure out, okay, what's going on with this person? Is what I am expecting of her reasonable? They're going to do some observations. So I'm encouraging you to first make some observations about yourself. In that journal, you are going to see and try to track what are the reasons behind why you're not being the boss of yourself and why you're not allowing your priorities to drive what it is you want to be doing. Step one, to be a good boss, is observe. Second, I want you to assess. Now I want you to look at what you wrote in your journal. And I want you to assess what you wrote in your journal. And I want you to assess if these are legitimate reasons or not for why you're not doing what it is you're setting out to do. I want you to look and say, am I not working out? Why am I not working out? If I'm saying I want to eat healthier, I want you to write down why you're not eating healthier. If you want to start a side hustle and you haven't gotten started, I want you to write down why. So you want to assess, are the reasons why you're not doing what you ultimately want to do? Are they legitimate reasons? And I want you to really assess those reasons and try to figure out what you can do, what changes you can make to increase your chance of success with those particular areas that you're looking to make progress. Third, I want you to affirm. Okay, y'all, the small voice that I was talking about before that was saying, Naj, you don't feel like working out. Naj, you're tired. I want you to look that small voice in the face and come up with an affirmation for that small voice that totally will change your thought about why you're working out. Because a lot of times we are just letting whatever thoughts come into our mind just drive and be the boss of whatever it is that we want to do. But studies actually show affirmations, which are why I believe in them so strongly. The research actually shows, there was a research at the University of Michigan, some professors from the University of Michigan and from Stanford, who actually conducted MRIs on the brain as people were repeating affirmations to themselves. And guess what they found? They found that the brain was lighting up in the reward centers of the brain when we repeat affirmations to ourselves. So it's not just a nice little hokey thing to do to start saying affirmations, but your brain is actually creating rewards when you create those affirmations. So let's just say you're having a difficult time motivating yourself to work out, to get up early in the morning to work out. My encouragement would be to write an affirmation that reprograms your brain around that. And put those affirmations in places where it makes sense. So what could an affirmation look like if you're having a difficult time staying motivated, working out? You could write an affirmation that says, I give myself permission to work out even if I don't feel like it. You could write an affirmation that says, my feelings are not the boss of me. My priorities are. And I've decided it's important for me to work out. So I'm going to, so that I can show up as my best me. What are some affirmations that you can write down that basically reverse or speak to the why nots of why you didn't work out in the first place? The fifth thing I would encourage you to do, make a plan. Listen, a good boss is going to have a plan. They're going to have a strategy. So if you know what are the roadblocks in the way of you doing the things that you really want to do, let's make a plan. Is it that you go to bed in your leggings and your sports bra at night so that when you get up, you're already dressed and you've taken away an excuse for why you're not working out? I want you to think about what are some things that you can do, some strategies that you can put in place that will allow you to be more successful? And last but not least, one of the things that good bosses always do is that they have accountability set up. When they set those milestones, they're saying, okay, we're going to check in. They have a board. They have people around them that are working together with them in a team to basically increase the accountability. Let me tell you something. I read an article in Entrepreneur Magazine, and do you know what that article said? It says that people are 65% likely to meet a goal after committing to one other person. And the chances of success increases to 95%, y'all, when you have partners, more than one person who is helping you to keep accountable in those particular goals. So it's not just, again, a hokey thing to want to have accountability. You are actually putting in place a strategy to increase your probability of success when you create accountability, either with at least one person. And if you have even more than one person that you're accountable to, it's going to increase your probability of success. So there you have it, ladies. You know I don't like to come on here and talk for too long, but these are the ways that we can really take back the reins of the areas of our life where we really want to see progress by not just being an employee and letting things happen to us, but actually becoming a boss and setting the stage and setting the direction of where we ultimately want to go. So if you are looking to be a boss in your life, I want you to think about it. You got to first observe. Get that journal out, start observing what's going on, start observing why you're not keeping those promises to yourself that you're setting. 2, I want you to assess, are there any legitimate reasons? Are these legitimate reasons for you to, are there reasons that you wrote down that you're not doing the thing you want to be? Are they legitimate reasons? Assess whether they are, because they may be legitimate, but if they're not, let's challenge them and not just accept that we're not going to do it because we don't feel like it. 3, I want you to set up some affirmations about that actually empower you and remind you of what you really want to do that combat your reasons for why you don't. 4, I want you to make a plan. You got to have a strategy. If we don't have a plan, then we're planning to fail. So you want to have a strategy in place. No good boss is not going to have a strategy and a plan. And last, increase your accountability. You can increase your probability of success to almost 95% by getting a group of folks together who can help keep you accountable. So ladies, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I hope that you got something out of this. If you got anything out of this conversation today, I ask that you like, comment, or share. That is the way that people find us here at Spark Her Blaze. I want you to become that boss in your life, not just a great boss for other people, and not that you're just aspiring or being inspired by a boss that at your job, but I want you to think about how can you be a better boss of you and those things that you ultimately want to do in your life. Y'all have a great weekend. I am Nyjah Drakes, founder of Spark Her Blaze, and I am excited that you came to listen to us. And I hope you'll come and join us yet again the next time we go live and talk about ways that you can spark your flame so that you can blaze your uniquely divine trail. Happy Saturday.